There was a hearing on Congress called, they have to name here, I don't get this.
Branding, it's all about branding.
Big Tech and the Online Child Sexual Exploitation Crisis. Sounds like a Harry Potter movie. Big Tech and the Online... Okay, so this is pretty dramatic. They had the CEOs of X, Twitter, I'm going to call it Twitter till I die, I don't care. Snap, Discord, TikTok, and Zuckerberg from Meta was there. Okay, and they all got yelled at. Lindsey Graham said they were bastards. And they have blood on their hands.
You did the Lindsey Graham lip quiver really well. That
blood on their hands, and there was a very dramatic moment. I think we have the picture where Zuckerberg is apologizing to these people, and they're holding up the pictures of their kids who died because they were bullied on Instagram.
Or got drugs, or
through
Snapchat.
You know, they committed suicide.
Yeah.
Okay, now, I've been a big critic of social media. I don't get it. I don't get why that's better than life. I feel like life was way better before. But I don't know, and I'm sure the companies can do more. But my view, and again, I don't have kids. Thank you, Jesus. But you got to. I just feel like the source of this is not Meta or the companies. It's the parents. First of all, the parents. I think. Well, like, why can't they just say no phones? But they would never do that because they like the phones because they have to know if their precious is safe at all times, and you have to text them to come downstairs for dinner.
I got a mom that cares about her kid.
No, cares too much.
Yeah. And I couldn't agree more. I think phones need to be banned in schools and the whole thing. But I'll say this: like, my kid can't get his homework unless he's online. That's just the way schools work now. To have a kid without a phone. Teenagers. I don't let my kids have phones till teenagers. I think to your point, though, is this. Number one, New Hampshire has sued these companies. Why? Because we want money back to invest in mental health and all that sort of thing. So the message was right out of Congress. But here's the problem, where we start in the beginning. What does Congress do best? Nothing. So what did they get? They got some parents that I'm sure felt listened to, and that was very powerful. But what are they going to do now? Do you know half of those folks on that committee probably went back and tweeted on social media how they really just gave it to Zuckerberg? Think about the hypocrisy of that, right?
Right.
The hypocrisy.
You're right.
So what are they going to do? What's the follow-on action? America needs to see follow-on action. If Congress is going to make a spectacle of it, that's great. Let's bring it to the forefront. But we need to see action. Do something for those parents, because otherwise you're just using those parents for your own social media posts. Let's make sure those kids are not forgotten. You're driving, whether it's penalties, fines, a change in policy, whatever it is, so that, again, the future generation doesn't have the same crisis that those kids have.
You down with that?
No, I'm totally down with that. And there is legislation that the CEO of Snapchat has said that he'd sign on to, the Kids Online Safety Act. It's bipartisan. It's like the only thing Marsha Blackburn ever did that I liked, that she's part of it. And I think that they should take responsibility. If people who work at these companies, and I get it that it's their job to make tons of money and to, find out our value. I think it was something disgusting, like $270 is the cost of a life.
Wow.
For these social media companies. But if you're not going to have a real repercussion that is commensurate with the outcomes you're having, which is death. So it sucks to go to D.C. and have to spend the night there or whatever, but they're back in the Bay and they're all fine today.
Remember to like and subscribe.
Yeah.